It is a brisk evening here in the South Puget Sound and an important night for the playoff aspirations for both teams set to do battle here on the pitch at Cheney Stadium. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Cheney Stadium. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined by Dave Clark. Thank you for joining us tonight on ESPN Plus for Tacoma Defiance against Oakland Roots SC. Well, Dave, lots to talk about in this match, but the biggest story of the night, Charleston Battery, a 3-1 win over LA Galaxy 2, has breathed a really big batch of new life into both these teams' playoff aspirations.
Yeah, for Tacoma Defiance, it means that they again control their own destiny. For Oakland Roots and then Sacramento Republic as well, they still have hopes for that fourth and final playoff spot.
Well, Oakland Roots tonight have found success against Tacoma Defiance. They currently lead the series 2 wins, 1 loss. But that loss came here in Tacoma, but tonight we have our eye on the man wearing the captain's armband.
Yeah, it's got to be Vol Fall. We're going to focus on his 4 goals, 2 assists. But most importantly for Oakland Roots, he has that attitude that refuses to lose. It was his strike here in Tacoma that really reignited Roots' season and charged him up from being last in the Pacific to a playoff hopeful.
Both these teams tonight level on record, 9 wins, 13 losses, 7 draws apiece. For Tacoma Defiance, we've got our eye on the young midfielder, Obed Vargas. He does not play like his age would suggest.
I've loved what Obed Vargas has done this year. He's a ball winner. He's tenacious, feisty. Turned 16 here during the season, and you wouldn't believe it, he's now the defensive midfielder that leads the squad.
Well, for Defiance, back at home and looking to keep things moving, played to a 0-0 draw against Sacramento on the weekend. They were hoping for more than a point out of that match, but they took what they could get, and now, thanks to that Charleston win, they do technically control their own playoff destiny. It is anthem time here at Cheney Stadium. We'll take a break. When we return, the opening half kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium, just about set for kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC for you here on ESPN Plus. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. Dave, it's time now to take a look at our multi-care pre-match health report and a couple of notable absences tonight for Wade Weber's Tacoma Defiance side.
Yeah, rough ones. Randy Mendoza has himself a jaw fracture and concussion. Carlos Anguiano, facial lacerations. That hurts for both of them. Made lineup adjustments. Over for the Oakland Roots, Jose Hernandez is suspended.
Here is Oakland Roots starting 11 as named by head coach Jordan Farrell, and in addition to that suspension of Hernandez, 4 other changes for this Oakland side.
Yeah, it's going to be fun seeing Quincy Amarikwa start up top. He was a sub the last time Roots were up here. He can do a lot, really runs into space well still. And I'm really intrigued to see Tariq Murad in defense. He's missed most of the season, and it'll be nice to see what he does back there.
Meanwhile, for Tacoma, in goals, a name we've gotten to know well, but not for Tacoma this season, Dave.
Yeah, Stephen Cleveland last started for Tacoma on May 9th, a 1-1 draw against Los Dos. And after that, he took over the Seattle Sounders starting keeper role while Steph Fry was here.
So his second start of the night tonight. see Sam Adeniran, Ray Serrano, and Juan Alvarez rounding things out up top tonight. Alec Diaz available off the bench to try to bring some second half spice. Your referee tonight is Malik Badawi, assistant referees Callie Smith and Adam Sanchez, Hunter Zakwija, the fourth official. Well, we are set for kickoff here at Cheney Stadium. Tacoma Defiance wearing commencement gray will move from right to left on your screen here in the first half. Oakland Roots headed back the other way.
Yeah, and there's a fun little storyline here with Tacoma Defiance. You might have seen it during the national anthem. There's a big old flag there. The Tacoma Rainiers won the AAA West pennant. OL Reign, the other tenant here, has already qualified for the playoffs. So Defiance can have a little bit of inspiration on knowing that Cheney Stadium magic has worked for those two sides.
And it was Cheney Stadium magic for most of the season for Tacoma. We're one of the last 3 unbeaten teams in the league at home. The others, El Paso and Phoenix Rising, both of whom are top of their conference. But Defiance first slipped up at home, then continued to slip up, went on a 7-match losing streak, and now find themselves trying to climb back above the red line with 3 matches left to play. And the first of those begins right now, underway here at Cheney Stadium. 90 minutes of USL Championship action for you here on the midweek. Dave, both these teams a little bit sluggish in their last 5 outings. 1 win, 3 losses, 1 draw apiece. What's the importance of starting quickly here at home, trying to set the tone?
That can give you a lot of confidence. We've seen Tacoma Defiance this year do better than seasons past, but they've struggled at times. Getting up early can change their whole demeanor. Game state does so much in soccer to affect possession and tactics. At the same point, we both know that there will be goals tonight.
Tarek Murad working here, making his 9th start. Spent last year with San Diego Loyal and bounced around the USL Championship.
Defiance with those lines of confrontation that they used recently to such good effect to stymie Sacramento Republic.
Here is Murad. Cody Baker heads it back to Steph Cleveland. Slight shuffling on the back line for this return home. Dave, Jackson Reagan over to the left center back position. Tom Brewitt, who had been playing as a holding mid, slotted back into the central center back. Gone through here for Adeniran, and he's offside. Well, it was a near thing, but Adeniran just a few steps too far downfield.
It's exactly what you want him to do, though. That's what Wade Weber wants. He's such a potent force when running onto a ball.
Here's Akeem Ward. Ward gets the edge on Alvarez. Gone out wide. Johnny Rodriguez. Broken up by Reagan. Falls to Fasore. Memo Diaz. He spins in across. And Fasore has that bounce up on his shin. Sends it onto the party deck.
It'll be interesting to see if Tom Brewitt hovers in kind of that semi-defensive mid-role or if he plays on a flat back 3 throughout the evening.
Tacoma not the only team setting a high line of confrontation here at Cheney Stadium to start this match off. Both these teams really want to seize the initiative, take the chance to control their postseason destiny. Cleveland sends downfield. Fisore over the jumping challenge. Ball won there by Reed Baker-Whiting. He's gone through for Serrano. That's broken up well by Murad. Falling straight to Juan Alvarez. And one back by Akeem Ward.
Great play by Ward there to just cut off those lines, pick up, and make certain that there wasn't an available pass to Ray Serrano.
Energetic first 5 minutes. No real chances either side yet, but the way this is going, you have to expect there will be some. Again, this match taking on newfound importance. LA Galaxy 2 dropping a 3-1 result on the road to Charleston Battery earlier tonight. And if you want an action-packed highlight reel, be sure to go look that up after the match. Some crazy sequences in that game.
Always nice when you can prep for one soccer match while watching another.
Tends to be more and more the case as you get closer to the end here, Dave, and you're starting to think about who's above the red line, who's outside of it. And Defiance would love to cap off this year in USL Championship with a playoff appearance. It'd be their first since their inaugural season in the league. And Roots, meanwhile, be a real statement after a down start to this season for them. They're first in the USL Championship. Sent in there by Akeem Ward. Headed away by Villanueva. Diaz picked out Fisore, and Cleveland has it at the near post. Well, Dave, kind of interesting to note that both these teams have sort of had inverse years. Oakland started the year 1-8-3 overall, and then really started to rally after a 3-1 loss here at home to Tacoma. Turned it around with an 8-win, 5-loss, 4-draw run to keep them in playoff contention. That included 2 wins against Tacoma in that span. And Defiance started the year 9 wins, 5 losses, 6 draws, and they're 1-8-1 since then.
Defiance really rode streaks. There was the 4-0-4 unbeaten run, and then unfortunately the 0-7-0 beaten run.
Over the top for Jesus Enriquez. Quick cross and got way underneath it. Enriquez looking for space. Diaz takes over, shoulders his way past the Dinnerin. Enriquez cuts it back, Amarikwa. Fisore. And Diaz wasn't expecting that ball, got rid of it quickly. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Dinnerin picks that out, tries the quick chop to the far side. Too much. You're seeing Sam Dinnerin Dave playing out on that left wing. He's found success since Wade Weber moved him out there. But you've got Ray Serrano now as the target man playing center forward.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's smaller, so what he's going to have to do is run onto balls or drop back into that hole and create from that position.
That might be a generous comparison between those two players, smaller. But here is Serrano. Arrives at this ball. Dinnerin closing in behind. Goes for Alvarez, and it's broken up by Tarek Marad.
The other thing is you can abandon that central space and put two wide for that overload where Ray and Sam can interact.
It'll be particularly interesting because Oakland really does like to get their fullbacks involved up the field. You see that, Memo Diaz, Hakeem Ward, both venturing into the final third. Mueller, missed touch there. Rodriguez capitalizes. Dave, you reckon long-time Charleston Battery defender Taylor Mueller was texting some of his old teammates before the game, asking him to do him a solid against Los Dos?
He might have chatted with them a little bit today. Spent a few years there.
All-time outfield player, leader in minutes played. I think leads all players, doesn't he, Dave?
Yeah, there's a chance that he hits 20,000 professional minutes played if Defiance make the playoffs.
Remarkable. Mr. Consistent.
Coach Weber did manage his minutes a few times this year, which is why he didn't have a couple of starts.
Joseph Nane combining with his teammates here. Now goes to the right side. Nane, one of two somewhat recent arrivals to this roster. Both he and Quincy Amarikwa weren't on the squad when these teams first met back in August. Amarikwa joined shortly after. Nane signed in mid-September. Diaz.
Unforced error there gives Defiance the opportunity to reset their lines.
Volfall. Rodriguez. Well, right idea to send it out wide there for Hakeem Ward, but Hakeem Ward got wrong-footed. Ball goes into touch. Well, sights set on home field advantage. El Paso Locomotive welcomes an OKC Energy side looking to remain in the playoff hunt. It's El Paso and OKC, Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific on ESPN Deportes. Fun time of the year in the league, Dave. Teams battling for playoff spots, teams that have been eliminated, looking to play the spoiler like Las Vegas did last Wednesday here at home against Tacoma.
It's important to remember that even if the team has been eliminated, these are players that are playing for their futures as well. They're going to be talking to general managers and technical directors in just a few weeks, trying to figure out what their next season bears for them.
Enriquez gone out wide for Diaz. Diaz cuts back, shovels that cross in. It's pelted away. Young Cody Baker on the clearance.
Diaz has been quite productive so far for Roots. Outside of him, they haven't really been threatening much.
Morad wants Ward. Skips past the defender's foot and out of play. Enriquez claims that he handled that ball. Go unanswered. Well blocked there, the foul against Villanueva.
Or not.
Or not, I stand corrected. Sure seemed like he was grabbed, and I think I just saw him turn his head to the referee and ask something similar. Reed Baker-Whiting has it. Too much up the middle. That's Paul Blanchette, a man who's been pretty central to this turnaround. 7 wins, 4 losses, 7 draws with him between the sticks since he took over for Zeus de la Paz, who was the netminder for most of the first half of the season. Had a moment to forget here at Cheney Stadium when he went to strike a clearance, struck Sam Adeniran at the top of the box, and the ball basically came off Adeniran's backside and sailed into the goal.
Jackson Reagan missed a great run by Alex Villanueva just then.
Baker turns and goes inside for Serrano. Juan Alvarez over the top. Serrano is there, and too much on it. Gonna stay in play. Villanueva lofts it. Baker, too tall for him. Alvarez. Mueller looking through, and Blanchette happy to see that skip in.
Villanueva being just alert enough that there to take the ball in under his own control.
Here's Kai Green, veteran center back. He wants Rodriguez up the middle. That's a good ball. Rodriguez gets a foot to that. Pokes it wide. Well, the forward found a seam right between the defenders, Dave, and look at this service.
Yeah, nice 70-yard ball, and just a little one-touch tap tries to redirect it. Steph Cleveland seemed to read that well. I think that if it had been on target, he would have been there.
Wade Weber, glad that he hasn't had to find out at this stage in the match. Serrano goes down, the ball comes behind him. Defiance looking to push the tempo. Here is Obed Vargas. Reagan, Villanueva, cutting inside. Adeniran. Baker Whiting back for Villanueva. He's onside. His cross popped up by Akeem Ward. Baker Whiting gets ahead to it. And it's thumped clear by Rodriguez. More good build-up from Tacoma, Dave, but this Oakland side very stout inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, so far Tacoma's entries into the Oakland penalty area have all been up in the air. And unless Sam Adeniran's on the end of that, a Tacoma player is not going to win it.
Flag is up for offside against Quincy Amarikwa.
Those headed balls by Obed Vargas, Cody Baker, Alex Villanueva aren't going to win a goal.
Amarikwa, a very interesting addition to this side as Serrano wins a free kick at the edge of the attacking third. Forward joined Oakland, like we said, August 11th. Had a long career in Major League Soccer. Most of his time spent with San Jose, but bounced around Colorado, Chicago, Toronto, DC United for a spell. Here's another look at that foul. Leads to this set piece. Baker Whiting is over the free kick. He takes it. It's into the area, and Blanchette has it cleanly.
Reed didn't want us to see the replay. He wanted to take a quality free kick right into this space.
You know, it's a night for being opportunistic, Dave, and you kind of think about who's going to be the better poacher, as it were. There is the free kick.
And you see the target on that, Sam Adeniran. Great read by the Roots goalkeeper.
Yeah, no surprise. They're trying to pick out the guy who's 6'4" and 200 pounds. Adeniran goes quick with the cross. That's going to go out for a corner. First of the night for Tacoma.
No surprises. All three center backs jogging up.
There is Reed Baker Whiting, who will spin this in. 16 years old, rumored to be attracting attention from a number of big overseas clubs in Europe. Though he does not hold a European passport, so it would be a while before he could go anywhere. Ray Serrano and Akeem Ward getting to know each other just inside the 6-yard box. Now getting called into the headmaster's office.
Two of the smaller players for either side.
Not about the size of the dog in the fight, Dave.
Juan Alvarez looks like he's going to take the corner now.
So it does. Baker Whiting available as the short side option there at the left edge of your screen. And Serrano and Ward already back at it. And they're getting called in again. Malik Badawi wants a word. Well, I think the word has been effectively delivered. Alvarez, Blanchette catches that in traffic and bumps into Jackson Reagan, wins the free kick. You never want to see that as a goalkeeper if you have to start ducking into the ball when it comes in on the cross, but Blanchette was brave there.
One of the many goalkeepers that's smaller than Jackson Reagan.
That's a short list of guys that are taller, that's for sure.
It's an unusual space for a goalkeeper when they're not bigger than the opposing center back.
Yeah, 6'4" and some change stands the man out of the Sounders Academy in the University of Michigan. Knows how to put himself about, too. 24th minute, no score here at Cheney Stadium. Both these teams kind of settled into the style of play they're looking for. Volfall wants the diagonal ball. Diaz gives chase. And even he can't get to that one. Hoodie season is back. Get the latest zip-ups and pullovers for fall at the Tacoma Team Store Monday through Friday from noon to 5 p.m. Also online at Tacoma.com/team store and visit the Cheney Stadium Team Store on match days. Risky pass there, and it's a big save from Steph Cleven, who was really left hung out to dry by his back line there. Defiance getting casual at the back, Dave.
Yeah, and this looks like Taylor Mueller assumed that there was going to be a middle center back there. I can't think he was trying to pass that to either Cleveland or Reagan.
So Defiance escaped gifting a goal to the visitors. Now Jesus Enriquez for this outswinger. Flicked on and cleared into touch out the far side. Rodriguez. Murad. And Oakland will reset. Down line for Enriquez. Looking for space against Villanueva, not finding much. Still gets the cross off. Over Rodriguez, the diving header at the back post. Quincy Amarikwa threw himself at that ball and couldn't turn it in.
And I think we'll see that he threw every part of his body. A brilliant cross here, and just rolls right through his hands and every part of himself.
For where it landed, Dave, you think he might have been better suited trying to tee it up with his foot, perhaps?
He might have assumed that Rodriguez was going to get ahead on that.
Alvarez tackled away from him. Gone wide. It's Enriquez. Diaz. Now Tacoma has it. Serrano sets off a Adeniran. He's in a foot race with Kai Green. Adeniran tries to scoop it past. Baker Whiting takes over. Back to the big man. And well defended there by Matias Fasore. Good tackling from the Argentinian. Always such an interesting exercise, Dave, at this stage of the season. You've played this team 3 times already. Have a good chance to get to know them, their tendencies. Figure out where you can get away with sticking your foot and try to win the ball.
Now, there's so much tape on guys now that it's impossible to surprise each other. Dinner kind of wasted that opportunity, similar to Roots wasting their last 2 threats.
Serrano turns, and Volfall just runs him right off the ball. Cross pelts the back of Juan Alvarez, goes into touch.
possession numbers are going to be completely in Roots' favor, but most of it's because Fall, Murad, and Green have been passing along the back line constantly.
Fisore looking straight through. Nice idea.
Cleveland calms everybody down.
Cleveland, like we mentioned, 6 wins, 5 draws, 4 losses while playing in goal for the injured Stephen Fry for MLS side Seattle Sounders. Allowed 1.13 goals per 90 minutes in yet. Already has a big stop tonight. Villanueva up the near side. Quick cross in for Serrano. Tarek Murad floats it away. And savvy move by Murad to head it back to his own keeper there. Half hour played, still scoreless at Cheney Stadium.
You see here, great in ball and an alert play by Oakland Roots to clear that. Ray Serrano would have been in on goal easily.
Nane, Fisore tried to turn and go through, but will win the free kick on advantage.
Tacoma's objecting, but frankly, I don't know why. That was a solid hit.
A cold night too, they hurt that little bit extra.
Even if it wasn't with the foot, you can still foul a guy with a body check. You see here, Oakland breaks the ball through the lines, has his back to him. Oh, and the foot got him too on the replay. So even more wondering why Tom objected to that call.
Now free kick, Oakland with a height advantage as they amass at the edge of the penalty area. Enriquez over the ball. Floats it in. Header from Adinarin. Back to Akeem Ward. Juan Alvarez hounding him. Ward forced back to Blanchette. Adinarin putting in the hard work off the ball to force that ball all the way back to the keeper. Right over the top. Defended by Kai Green. Bit of freestyle ball going on out there right now, Dave.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what Wade Weber will say to Juan Alvarez about that defense, because you don't often see a forward chase a man back, forcing him to withdraw 60 yards.
Wade Weber has been saying it all year long that this is a hungry side that he has at his disposal. They're looking to find something to sink their teeth into here at Cheney Stadium. Villanueva. To the far side now, Mueller. Baker looping ahead, the flag stays down. Juan Alvarez arrives. Alvarez tries to shovel that to the near post. Sarek Murad not happy that Alvarez wasn't flagged offside there.
I think it was Green that kept Alvarez onside. It was just so far on the other opposite side of the pitch that most didn't notice it. Well, Fall gave a Statue of Liberty impression as soon as that pass was made.
Diaz, his cross, cut out by Brewitt. And Brewitt, a player who's really become a solid contributor for this Tacoma side since arriving before the start of the season. Spent a couple years bouncing around England's lower divisions, but has found a home here in the Puget Sound. Fall picks out Akeem Ward. Ward cuts to his right, goes far post, fans it wide. Best chance of the night, you'd have to say.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Farrell love what Akeem Ward does here. Just captures space so well. Fall is the one who moves the ball out. Akers was space. Maybe could have taken that first time. So many Defiance bodies in the way on that final shot. He had to go for the furthest edge of goal.
Been tough through 36 minutes of this contest, Dave, for Defiance to get an extended run of possession. Managed to string a couple passes together here and there, but for the most part, it's been Oakland's ball. What's been going on?
Defiance have been quicker into the attack, which kind of harms their possession numbers, but their attacks have been inefficient, ending one or two passes before a shot on goal, just like we saw there.
Another chance goes begging there. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. Right over the top for Johnny Rodriguez, off the back of the head of Cody Baker. He claims there was a touch, but might have betrayed his bluff there from how he chased after that. Baker getting a bit of a talking to. I think he might have made sure that Rodriguez couldn't pick up that ball and play it right after it went out. Rodriguez turns topside, slices a low ball in, wins a corner. Second of the night, Jesus Enriquez send it in. 3 assists on the year for Enriquez, who is the set piece specialist for this Oakland side. Enriquez, and that is caught cleanly by Cleveland, who is fouled in any event. Tacoma sets sail on a High Seas happy hour every weekend home match. 90 minutes before every weekend match, Cheney Stadium opens for the High Seas happy hour presented by Lunazul Tequila. Next High Seas happy hour is October 24th against LA Galaxy 2. Visit tacdefiance.com/ticket information to learn more. Big ball looking for a dinner and too big.
It's fast, but not that fast.
What a year he's shaped himself into having in the second part of the season now. 10 goals, 2 assists, 3 of them in one match. Second hat trick in club history. A player who really is dangerous for as long as you leave him on the pitch. He is not a guy who really fades as the night goes on. Diaz looking in toward Amarikwa. Rodriguez gone wide for Ward. Ward gets off a low cross and Reagan sends it back across the face of goal. Ball's off the clearance into touch.
Surprised Oakland with that pass because they could have pounced on it if they'd known it was coming.
A couple times tonight, Tacoma have been a little bit careless with the ball in front of their own goal. Wade Weber, the former center back himself, won't be pleased about that. Expect him to have a word with them in the locker room at halftime. Here's Diaz, gone over the top. That's bound for the far touchline. Cleveland is pushed over, and that's a careless foul from Jesus Enriquez, too. There's no need for him to do that, and he'll be booked.
Cleveland had every right to shield that ball. He was moving enough that it was obvious he was attempting to play it, and you'll see here on the replay, there was one hip check there that I think frustrated Enriquez a little bit.
Forgive me, it is Quincy Amarikwa who commits the foul.
Amarikwa. And he kind of argues that foul, and I don't know why. You shoved over a goalkeeper that was pretty much defenseless. They're always going to be in the referee's favor.
You know, it is in the laws of the game that you can't screen a player off the ball pretty much if you're out of range of playing it, but you know, pretty much the referees are going to wind up looking at the level of contact and kind of determining the foul from there. And now for Defiance, it's a chance to clear their lines, although he's left that short, has Cleveland.
An initial disagreement over who was going to throw that in, but it's Oakland. Roots with a strong shout that that could have been a foul, and it could have been.
Serrano turns, he goes straight over. Big touch into space. Villanueva recovers to the ball. Pulls it past Green. Villanueva cuts it back, a dinner in, it rolls up on his leg. Well, the big man was ready to slam that home. Didn't connect. Lovely turn from Adinarin. Went for the quick switch to the far post, no one home. You see the presence that Sam Adinarin brings to this Tacoma Defiance attack, Dave. Much better first touch than you might expect for a player with his physical gifts.
You see there that Tacoma finally got some danger when they were giving him touches in that 8 to 15 yard range. They need to maximize those if they're going to win tonight. When a team's so far behind in possession, they're not going to have as many opportunities. And Tacoma's offense is such that they have to do whatever they can to score when they do get them.
Adinarin picks up the loose ball. Obed Vargas connected out wide. Serrano, his cross. Defiance keep getting themselves into these promising attacking positions, like you say, Dave, and then the final ball has always been a letdown so far.
Yeah, and Ray knows that. He has 6 assists on this year. That was a perfect opportunity for number 7, and instead he just floats it wide. Wasn't even one of those dangerous ones where Blanchette needed to grab it.
We're being told to expect 1 minute of stoppage time here in the first half, which seems fair. Been a pretty free-flowing contest.
Yeah, the only long pause was on that corner when Ward and Serrano got lectured.
Reagan, under some pressure, goes back to his keeper.
Cleveland just has to dump that out to give Tacoma an opportunity to breathe. Extraordinary pressure from Oakland that will give themselves one opportunity now.
Thrown in toward Enriquez. Reagan heads it up. Will clear it away. Well, you have to think Tacoma's going to focus on trying to break this pressure in the second half. It has been relentless from Oakland Roots through 45 minutes. Still going here in stoppage time. And Dinnerin commits a foul near midfield. Quickly restarted. Memo Diaz finds Ward. Glance at the watch from the referee. And that's how we'll end the first half. 0-0 between Tacoma and Oakland. Dave, your thoughts on this first 45?
I don't think either coach is going to be happy with things. Both of their teams have been inefficient and ineffective in on goal.
It is 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC at halftime. We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus. When we return, a look at what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If if we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Be careful.
Around it comes Fox. Solik, the backheel in! What a goal!
St. Luna is shot into the back goal.
Kiramoto has won it for OKC Energy FC. Oh, that is a brilliant goal from the substituting.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium. It is halftime here on ESPN Plus between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC, where it is 0-0 between those two sides. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. Not too much to talk about in this first half, apart from some spilled chances, but there's lots to talk about what's going on around the rest of the league. Dave, there are some big scores coming in on the docket.
Yeah, the most important one here for the Pacific Division fans is the Charleston Battery beat LA Galaxy 2-3-1. Huge result for the Pacific. The Mountain has some big matches today. El Paso Locomotive, Diego Luna iced it, scoring the third goal in the 90th minute. New Mexico United and San Antonio FC are 3-2 right now with just a couple minutes left to go. And Orange County SC and San Diego Loyal are at half. Orange County up 1-0. That's a big one here, just because it's going to kind of determine who gets that other home match in the playoffs.
All right, that New Mexico United win, by the way, assuming that score line holds, does put them above the red line on 43 points. Austin Bold, the loss keeps them at 40 in fifth. Here's the upcoming schedule with some important matches to watch, and obviously it's all eyes on this Pacific Division, Dave.
Yeah, Orange County goes to Las Vegas, hosts Las Vegas Lights. That one's going to be for playoff positioning. Phoenix Rising versus Sacramento Republic. Sacramento has to win and hope that LA Galaxy 2 and Tacoma Defiance has a result in their favor. Sacramento's hoping for a draw here when we host Sunday. And then San Diego Loyal versus Oakland Roots. That's going to be Oakland's last gasp at a playoff run.
Here are the Pacific Division standings, such as they were coming into the day. Well, Phoenix very confident of their abilities to have secured home field advantage throughout at least this first phase of the playoffs. And you see right there, I mean, 4 through 7, it gets real messy real fast.
Yeah, it's a tight race, and that's why we're going to be watching a lot of ESPN Plus over the weekend and next midweek and the 30th.
Well, that's the playoff picture. Let's take a look at some of the biggest headlines from around the USL Championship. And obviously the news coming out today that in honor of International Pronouns Day, the players in the leagues will be able to select jersey numbers that have their pronouns within the number itself, which I think is a cool way to acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do. You know, the USL Championship, USL League One, W League, and the Super League. It's going to be important to let people know exactly who you are.
Meanwhile, our second headline, well, you just heard us talking about it a fair amount. The playoff race heating up, getting tense. Every division really has at least one major headline to keep your eye on. So keep on going back to uslchampionship.com to tune in for those stories. Dave, it's my favorite part of the year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know, a few months ago we had Tacoma Defiance in second place, and now they're battling for fourth. It's a competitive league. There's always opportunities for a team to go on a run. The playoffs are going to be incredible.
And then, of course, as we turn our attention toward the year to come, the USL W League is up to 19 teams so far. And Dave, I suspect that number's going to grow before we kick a ball.
Yeah, they've said that they're going to announce to 30, and it's they're getting there with an announcement basically every 2 or 3 days.
Fun to see. So the newly formed American Women's Third Division is really getting things going. That's what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Meanwhile, here at Cheney Stadium, it is 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC. We'll take another break. When we return, the start of the second half. We'll be back.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego. I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium. Set for the start of the second half between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots SC here on ESPN+. 0-0 between these two teams. And Dave, it's been that kind of game. A lot of missed chances between these two teams. A couple of big misses from, frankly, players who we know can put the ball away better than they have tonight.
Yes, and that's basically what both coaches will talk about. In Tacoma's case, Wade Weber's going to emphasize getting that final pass into efficient spaces. Jordan Farrell's case, he's going to talk to Oakland Roots about their inability to finish because, frankly, they should have had at least one goal.
Well, Charleston Battery opened a door for both these teams by defeating LA Galaxy 2-3-1 earlier tonight. Who do you think's going to step up and stick their foot in the opening? Because somebody's got to if these teams want to start thinking about playing beyond their next 3 matches.
Yeah, and it's not that they're playing conservative, trying to keep the other side from scoring. They just haven't been effective. I think what Tacoma Defiance need to do is get better interaction between Sam Adeniran and Ray Serrano. Those two haven't been passing to each other. And then Oakland Roots, what I really want to see is I think that Enriquez and Diaz are creating great attacking moments. They need to finish.
Well, here we talked about missed chances. Here are some of them here in this first half. This quick ball over the top to Johnny Rodriguez for a toe poke on a first touch. Not a bad effort.
I love that shot, and I love that bravery. Got to do more of it. This is the one that really Farrell will talk to his team about. You've got to be alert enough to put that in to the far post rather than just get tackled away.
And Steph Cleveland, who again, just making his second start of the season for the club, doing enough there to turn it aside. Sam Adeniran had one chance going the other way, but it rolled up on his ankle and he wasn't able to actually get the shot off. Obed Vargas and Ray Serrano standing over the ball at center circle, waiting to kick this off on the whistle from referee Malik Badawi. There it is, and here we are, 45 more minutes plus stoppage time for one of these sides to try to find 3 points here at Cheney Stadium late in the USL Championship regular season. Defiance back line, so steady over the course of this season for most of it, Dave, has looked a little unsettled here tonight.
Yeah, they've struggled to pass it to each other. You never want a back line doing that.
Serrano's offside there. Well, it all comes down to the final day of the regular season. Watch the drama unfold all evening long on ESPN+ as the race for the USL Championship playoffs comes to an end. Action begins October 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific on ESPN+. Both these teams, Dave, certainly hoping that they'll be playing in a meaningful match on that day. Blanchett wants the big ball up to Rodriguez. Flag stays down for him. Now through for Akeem Ward. Mueller rockets it off the defender. Wins the throw-in. It's the youngster Cody Baker. Has shown great attacking prowess in previous starts with this team, but tonight he's kind of had his hands full dealing with not just Johnny Rodriguez, but Akeem Ward out there on the perimeter. That's Rodriguez. Back for Amarikwa. He's gone down in the box, and he's waved back to his feet by Malik Badawi. Enriquez trying to keep Oakland on the front foot. Fisore. Enriquez. Tapped away by Villanueva. Enriquez going to leave this for Memo Diaz. Thrown to Fisore. And Adeniran tackles it away again. Kai Green wants another ball over the top. Rodriguez is there. Hakeem Ward, the second cross over the head of Amarikwa. Villanueva poked out. Who did come off of? Goal kick.
That's that misfortune that Oakland's had this evening.
Quincy Amarikwa still John with Adam Sanchez, the assistant referee on the far touchline. Amarikwa, remember, the only player in referee Malik Badawi's book. Cautioned in that first half for running through the back of Steph Cleveland. Dinnerin can't pull off the turn and left a leg in there. Knows what he did, makes his apologies, and seems to have them accepted by Enriquez, who is feeling the worst of that collision.
Yeah. Some fouls are with intent and others are an accident. I think that one falls into the accident category.
Looked a little bit like a box graft you'd see in a physics high school problem.
Ball gets away from Sam Dinner and he chases after it, and his knee is right in the upper thigh.
Well turned there. Alvarez, wide to Baker. You get the sense, Dave, that Tacoma's kind of missing a middle of the field facilitator on a night like tonight, like an Anguiano or a Danny Robles.
Yeah, and Danny Robles is on the bench. That is somebody that Wade Weber can bring in for either Obed Vargas or Reed Baker Whiting. Perrion's been fine on defense, but Tacoma needs one more player providing a threatening ball.
Rodriguez, one pass more for Hakeem Ward, who cuts inside. Amarikwa got a foot to that. That appears to have gone over the goal line, but well worked by Enriquez on the far side to head it back into the keeper. Now the big switch. Murad gets a foot to it, leaves it proud. Strong recovery from him. This falls through for Alvarez. Pulls it back. Alvarez goes far post. Blanchette punches it away. Baker Whiting gives chase. Can't pull it past two defenders. Now it's Defiance's turn to try to catch Oakland out. Blocked by Cody Baker, but Amarikwa gets it off to Enriquez all the same. Dancing around the ball is Enriquez. Chops it back. Amarikwa. Diaz. Drop into the back post. Rodriguez is there. That takes a weird header, and Cleveland manages to catch it just under his bar. Awkward deflection for the keeper to deal with here, Dave.
Yeah, and we'll see a replay here shortly. Cody Baker's wondering why that much contact was allowed. Great ball in from here from Oakland. And right on the edge of our screen, Cody Baker takes a head right to the back of his own head.
Defender jogging off under his own power. He'll look to quickly rejoin play. We'll restart with a drop ball inside the penalty area. And Baker is waved back on.
And as soon as Tom Brewitt noticed that, he asked all of Defiance to move into the attack rather than the patient possession waiting for even numbers.
This is Cody Baker. The shot careening through traffic, blasted away from Serrano. Some hand fighting there. Volfall trying to work away from Obed Vargas. Enriquez sparked so many dangerous opportunities tonight. Diaz calling for it in the middle. There's Enriquez, and Cleveland calls off Taylor Mueller.
If this was that famous soccer video game that most people play, I'd say at halftime Wade Weber turned up the aggression for Tacoma. They're just so much hungrier this half.
Rodriguez brings that under control. Try to slip it through. Ball soars into touch. We're going to see our first change of the night. It's a double swap for Wade Weber. He's bringing on Alec Diaz and Danny Robles, who we just mentioned, in favor of Juan Alvarez and Reed Baker Whiting. Well, Diaz, a real talent up there at forward for this Tacoma Defiance side, but he hasn't quite produced at the clip he'd have wanted to. 3 goals in now 24 appearances on the season. But he is a constant threat to stretch the back line.
He's also a fine poacher, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. He moves to that center forward spot. Ray Serrano moves out wide.
There's Danny Robles getting his first touch of the game. Robles, just the Energizer Bunny out there, never seems to run out of gas.
He's capable of threading those balls from deep positions.
Big switch, too big for Baker. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Well, you talked about his poaching ability. There's Alec Diaz trying to poach a goal in the middle of my ad read, Dave.
I'd prefer he interrupt you, personally.
Cleveland plays that short up the middle. Poked away there by Volfall, who's been quiet today, been a bit of a metronome in helping them retain possession in their own end, but haven't seen him too much going forward. Clever leave by Rodriguez, but nobody was making the run.
Kind of surprised we didn't see Ward out there. It's been blazing up that touchline most of the evening.
You know, maybe those minutes starting to pile up. Like we said, both these teams made 5 changes to their starting 11s before this match. They'll both go this weekend. They'll both go the subsequent weekend as well. It is a long and trying campaign here in the USL Championship.
Tacoma's turn to have some backline possession.
Reagan. Short to Obed Vargas. Robles. One away there by Nane. Obed Vargas has it tackled up to Danny Robles. He goes right through Alec Diaz. I think even Diaz was surprised that ball came to him. Past the hour mark here at Cheney Stadium, still no goals.
Danny just sent it through 2 players' legs, 1 from each team. Brilliant pass.
That's how good he is, Dave. Brewitt down for Obed Vargas. Baker searching ball in. Broken up by Green on the inside. And Akeem Ward just shuttles it out of play. Volfall is down past midfield. Has his boot off and is taking a look at his right foot. So a brief stoppage in play here in the 62nd minute. Tacoma sets sail on a high seas happy hour every weekend home match. 90 minutes before every weekend match, Cheney Stadium opens for the high seas happy hour presented by Lunazul Tequila. Next high seas happy hour is October 24th against LA Galaxy 2. Visit tacdefiance.com/ticket information to learn more.
And if I've understood the rule changes correctly, even though this was whistled after the throw-in, it'll be a Tacoma Defiance drop ball deep in their possession area.
I believe it should still just be a throw-in as the ball was out of play.
That's why I asked the former referee.
You got me questioning myself now, Dave.
Tacoma was trying to get a rapid restart there.
Oh, I wanted to stay on the front foot. Ball fall. Fits the cleat back on snugly. He will walk off under his own power. And we're seeing a double change out of Oakland as well. Rodriguez and Nane are done. On come Max Ornstill and Ariel Mbumba. So Mbumba, 4 goals. Now his 26th appearance of the season, tied for the team league. Flicked on header, gets beyond Blanchette. Kept alive, and Brewitt ties up with Blanchette there. Tarek Murad is down in the penalty area. Here's another look at the chaos.
Great throw, Little flick on, but too wide. Ray Serrano tries to refeed that in, but Blanchette grabs it quickly. Tom Brewitt's collision was purely accidental and a no contact fall from Murad, who's still kind of limping.
Looks fit to carry on, and we will too here at Cheney Stadium. 64th minute.
Volfall has re-entered play for Oakland Roots as well, so we're back to 11-11.
Both sides have used 2 of their 5 available substitutes. Here's Mbumba. Cleveland lost his footing as he sent that ball away. And it showed in the distribution, but it came off the head of Memo Diaz.
Villanueva missed Alec Diaz's run on that throw. Had the opportunity to send him in with no offside available.
Headed on and all the way back to the keeper by Murad. Imagine, Dave, as the match drags on at 0-0, we'll start to see more and more of those looks over the top, see if a ball might squib past these back lines.
Just takes one error, one moment of brilliance to change the game.
Diaz over the top for Enriquez. Reagan doesn't like his options. Here's Ornstill. Enriquez. Shot blocked. Cleveland going to try to keep this in play. Prevents the corner. Obed Vargas forced to send that back to Mueller quicker than he would have liked to. Swung near side. Memo Diaz. Laser ball in. Headed up by Brewitt. And Cleveland can't get there. Gone out for a corner. Brewitt feels he was fouled. He and Amarikwa engaging in a debate about the finer points of the laws of the game, no doubt. Big moment here for Enriquez. It's a narrow ball past Amarikwa, floated up by Brewitt. Header from Reagan. Enriquez right there. Sends it in again, wins another corner. Cleveland being screened on both ends. Header from Cody Baker. Ornstill, well, he put his foot through it. Got a little underneath it, Dave.
Yeah, even over the protective netting for the safety of the fans. That ball is going to take a while to come back. Dinnerin and Serrano have switched currently.
All right, we have somebody going to go get it.
Clever first touch there from Akeem Ward to Mbumba. Right back to the left back. His cross inside and turned out for a corner. Well, Oakland has really hit another gear these last 5 minutes. And they are asking questions that Defiance are having a tough time answering.
Yeah, and you see here, it's just brilliant. Unfortunately, Cody Baker is trying to defend 2 players at once. Ward's cross is pinpoint perfect. Brewitt saving the goal.
Yeah, Marquardt looking for the tap in there at the near post. Enriquez back over this near side corner. Sent in. Marquardt was in the neighborhood of that one. You're back across midfield.
Yeah, I got it. Let's get the ball!
Ball fall. Is upended. That is Akeem Ward, fouled by Obed Vargas, who feels that there was an arm up around his face.
Volfall had been arguing for an Alvarez foul already. There's some heavy contact you'll see here as Alvarez pressures fall back. And then just continues to press.
Set piece sent to the far side by Orenstill, and Memo Diaz, face in his hands, just has it skip past his foot. Rare for him. He's usually got such a solid first touch. Defiance just hammering it, trying to get it out of their end. This falls for Obed Vargas. He's past Orenstill. Ball looking through, advantage played, a Dinnerin flagged offside. So will it come back for the free kick? Or does the ball to the offside position satisfy the promising attack? Looks like it'll be offside. And an indirect free kick for Oakland.
Interesting advantage there.
I guess you could make the argument that Dinnerin's run was the promising attack, and he spoiled the chance by being offside. Vargas straight through, too long for Alec Diaz.
Yeah, by basically one size of the boot.
Fisore chips that through. Enriquez collects it in the corner. Orenstill right back through for Enriquez, cut out by Reagan. Robles wants Diaz. Serrano. And a stand-up tackle from Tarek Murad.
Ray got stuck with too many options and just held the ball too long.
So little time to react at this level.
Runner off of each shoulder, or he could have chosen to dribble.
Villanueva, Dinnerin. Fall, playing with the free hand. Fisore into space. The flick on header, that falls for Mbumba. And it is lifted up, and away by Taylor Mueller. Out for a corner, the 5th for the visitors.
That saved Stephen Cleveland, who had gone on a bit of a walkabout.
Enriquez checking in with Jordan Farrell on the Oakland bench as he trots over for this corner. 74th minute. Drawn short. The return. Enriquez goes himself. Cleveland covers up. Lobbed out to Diaz at midfield. Diaz, the quick switch for Serrano. Unable to settle the ball against Hakeem Ward, however. Mbumba, upended by the challenge. Volfall recovers. Robles tries to lay that down the line. "75 minutes gone in a very tense 0-0 battle between Tacoma Defiance and Oakland Roots. Both teams, if we're being completely honest, need a win here to put themselves into the playoff conversation over the final few days of the season.
The draw doesn't eliminate either of them, but the math is very complicated.
Here's Hakeem Ward. Enriquez working against Reagan, and the bigger defender escorts him off the ball, so to speak. Right back to Cleveland. Here's Danny Robles. Reagan. Adinarin. Villanueva running to his outside. Cuts it inside. Serrano. Robles. Villanueva. Villanueva. Adinarin. Couldn't get above that ball, Dave, to direct it downward on the cross.
It was one of his better looks of the evening. He had the height, just couldn't create the angle with the head. Brilliant ball by Danny Robles, out to Alex Villanueva. Solid cross. You see his disappointment knowing that could have been a winner.
Hard in there, and a free kick given at midfield. Hornstill restarts. Enriquez, Diaz. The overlap for Enriquez too narrow for him.
Cleveland wants everybody in the attack as fast as possible. He knows minutes are valuable.
Villanueva.
Saw both coaches use two subs fairly early in the second half. and they've been stable. No indications of a new sub from either side.
And you have to say, Dave, from the lineups on paper, you got to like the 11 guys you've got out there. Just a matter of, is there one more guy on the bench who can come in and make the difference?
Yeah, at this point, I think if either coach makes a sub, it's going to be a fitness decision. Just getting fresh legs out there.
Reagan up for a dinner in. This is Baker, and over hit on the service from Taylor Mueller. Serrano pulled down there. That's a free kick.
Captain Taylor Mueller asking for a little bit more.
Restarted quickly. Bit surprising from Defiance. I think even their own team wasn't expecting that restart. Serrano, Villanueva, he's onside here. Low cross, and flashing across the face of goal goes Ray Serrano and Cody Baker. It's cleared out for a corner. Sounds like we have more changes on the way for Oakland. And pardon me, it will just be a throw-in.
Cody Baker throwing is nearly a corner. He can loft that.
Emra Clementa and Jeremy Bokila coming on now. Pardon me. Johannes Harish rather than Clementa is the player who's checked in here in the late goings on. Baker's throw.
Tacoma want to act quickly because with those substitutions, there's new men that are supposed to mark. Try to take advantage of that disorganization.
Villanueva keeping it himself, going inside, stumbled there, lays it off, Robles. Obed Vargas. Back to Vargas. Robles out wide. Roots want to press on the break. Villanueva wins the ball, wins the free kick. Quickly restarted. Robles. Worked wide to Dinnerin. His cross, and that needed to be put away. Another spilt chance, Cody Baker.
Alert pass by Danny Robles. Great ball by Ray Serrano. And that might be why Cody Baker is a wingback and not a winger.
And in his defense on second blush, he was coming away from the goal to get to that ball. Tough to put any real power on it or to keep it down. The chances have been few and far between for Defiance tonight. As they keep grinding here in the 84th minute. Everyone that doesn't come off feels that little bit heavier. Kai Green looking over the top. Brewitt cleaned out there by Bokila. Free kick Tacoma. Pressure paying off for Oakland here. Villanueva. Robles. Sliding challenge, got the ball. Robles brought down in the aftermath. Volfall. Loses out to Taylor Mueller on the attempt at Mbumba, but now it's Akeem Ward racing forward. Mbumba, and blocked out by Baker. Another corner, the 6th for the visitors. And you have to imagine they're looking for the head of Jeremy Bokila.
Every Defiance body comes back into a defensive posture. Tom Brewitt will be just outside of your screen, but he is marking Max Owen still.
In from Mbumba, header from Brewitt. And Cleveland collects the loose header. Defiance trying to get on the front foot. Adinarin. Diaz can't bring it down. Harish. And Mbumba is offside there. The Roots bench unhappy with the call, to say the least. Robles right over the top. Too long for Diaz. Forward keeps that in play, though. And shrewdly wins a corner for Tacoma.
Don't know how they're going to play with a new coach.
Danny Robles over the set piece. I'm going to leave it for Ray Serrano. Robles available short.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we're going to leave Saturday morning.
Serrano sends it in. Brewitt gets a header. Poked away by Kai Green. Memo Diaz gets a foot to it. Falls toward Reagan, and Blanchette covers up. Opening seconds of the 89th minute now. Both these teams have bent over the course of this match, but they haven't broken.
Clock is a curse for both of them at this point.
Still gives that a heave. Sends it out the far touchline. Reagan, the big center back, putting his foot skills on display. Baker. Baker's cross. Too much, too far. Goal kick. 90th minute, we're told to expect a minimum of 3 more. But Vargas, another free kick. Hornstil kicks the ball away. He'll get caution for that. But it does slow down the restart since the referee can't allow play to begin until he writes his name down. And with that, we tick over into the first of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Dinner in, yeah, handled that ball. Getting to that stage in the match where you just do anything you can to bring it under control, Dave. Hakeem Ward up the near side. Is there a stoppage time hero for either one of these sides? Ward wins another corner. Harish for the in-swinger. Set near post. They'll line up and do it again.
Farrell has chosen to not bring Blanchette forward yet.
Header from Cody Baker that time. Back in from Ward. That came off Brewitt's arm. And it's not given by the referee. Well, I might have misseen it, but it really looked like Tom Brewitt had his arm away from his body. Vargas pulled down at midfield, somewhat cynically to say the least.
Defiance tried to do a quick restart, but they were already told not to.
Oh, but Vargas looks like he might actually send this long. Picks out Reagan, who's all the way out wide. Danny Robles, a heavy first touch. Memo Diaz, a big tackle. Advantage played by the referee. Switch to Bokila. Fisore. Final scheduled 30 seconds. Hakeem Ward, his cross, broken up by Cleveland, cleared away by Reagan. Saved the game for Defiance there. Bokila was gonna make it 1-0. Roots still pressing. Hornstil. Mueller, the header. And full time here at Cheney Stadium. Both teams have to settle for a point, which somewhat blunts both their playoff hopes, but does not eliminate it.
Well, the second I put the ball down,
Both teams go to 9, 13, and 8 on the season. Dave, your thoughts on the span of 90 minutes?
I think both coaches will be disappointed in their sides for failure to execute in the attacking final sixth, not even the third. There were opportunities for them to win, and they gave up the chance at the playoffs, basically. They'll have to count on LA Galaxy 2 losing twice, Sacramento losing, and both of those coaches need to win out now.
Well, Defiance can at least do some helps on that front. They face LA Galaxy 2 here at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. We'll have that match for you on ESPN Plus. For Oakland Roots, they're on the road at San Diego Loyal on Sunday for a 3 p.m. Pacific time kick. That's going to do it for us here from Cheney Stadium. For all of us here on ESPN Plus, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.